What's going on, guys? BriarRabbit here. I want to talk about Call of Duty Ghosts. I've been playing this game now for about 6 to 8 hours, and I gotta tell you, I'm really loving it. So I wanted to share with you guys my initial impressions, as well as a few tips and tricks that I've learned over the little bit of playtime that I've got that are really helping me out. So the first thing I want to talk about is the gun you see here. This thing is called the MSBS, and it is a laser gun. It is an absolute monster. It's a 3-shot burst weapon. Definitely unlock this thing as soon as possible. It is a really strong gun. It works like a shotgun up close, and it's an absolute laser at a distance. So, like I said, unlock this thing. The next thing I want to talk about are the maps. The maps are huge. There are a ton of different sight lines. There's all these sniper perches and windows and all these courtyards and these long lanes. You got to stay away from these courtyards and those long lanes. You know the lanes that have 3 or 4 different entrances into them, and they're really hard to figure out if your enemy is going to come from one way or another. You just got to avoid these things. You got to avoid these courtyards with 6 windows all pointing at them. A sniper or a guy with an assault rifle could be in any one of them. Just avoid them at all costs. Don't be caught dead in them. The next thing I want to talk about is the sound. This game has the best sound I've heard since Modern Warfare 2. It is absolutely essential to be running a headset when you're playing this game. It is going to improve your game so much. You can literally hear guys across the map, it feels like. It is so much easier to predict where your enemy's going to be coming from if you're wearing a headset and you can locate which side they're coming from. It is absolutely the time to go out and get a headset for Call of Duty Ghosts. And on a related note, start running Dead Silence. It makes it so much harder for your enemies to locate where you are. You'll see a lot of the time in this gameplay, it looks like I know exactly where the enemy's coming from. That's because I do. I hear him coming, I hear his boots hitting the ground, I hear him walking on cement or metal or whatever surface he's walking on, and I am prepared for that engagement, and he is not, because I am running Dead Silence and I've got a headset and he doesn't. It is absolutely essential to be running Dead Silence and have a headset. Some other perks I've found that are really useful in this game are Ready Up. Ready Up, it basically improves your ADS time after sprinting, and since you're running around so much in this game because the maps are so big, it really comes in handy quite frequently. Lightweight, obviously, again, because the maps are so big, it really helps to be able to get around those maps a little faster. Sleight of hand, I'm finding that with some of the guns, it takes me quite a few bullets to kill people. Now, with this gun that I'm using now, obviously, that's not the case because it's a burst weapon, so sleight of hand doesn't really come into play too often. But something like the Honey Badger, one of the starting weapons, I found that I was reloading an awful lot, so sleight of hand really came in handy. I already mentioned Dead Silence, but I'll mention it again. It is a really important perk, especially if you're playing smaller game modes like free-for-all. If you're playing a lot of free-for-all, you're bound to run into a lot of people running Dead Silence, so Amplify is your counter to that. It makes people just so loud if they're not running Dead Silence, and it allows you to hear people who are running Dead Silence. So Amplify is a huge bonus. Stalker comes up big again in this game. It is just so important to be able to move a little bit faster, to strafe left and right a little bit faster while you're in gunfights. You're much harder to hit. It's a little easier for you to aim accurately. Stalker is a huge bonus. The last thing I want to talk about is map navigation. So when you're first learning these games, every map is new, and you don't really know where any of the traffic is going to come from. You don't know where any of the sight lines are. So for me, what really helps me out is to really stick to small areas. Now, a lot of people call this camping, but to me, this is just the easiest way to learn a map. When I spawn in, I try and stick around that spawn area for as long as possible, as long as there's traffic around there and guys for me to kill. And I try and learn every little nook and cranny of that part of the map. That way, the next time I'm there, I know where I'm likely to find people, I know where I'm likely to find sight lines, and I'm just that much more comfortable there. And then, from that point, once you do this, 10 times on the same map, all in different areas, you start putting that map knowledge together, and you find that you really have a broad understanding of the sight lines, where to go in the map, where not to go in the map, and how the map really works as a whole. So that's going to pretty much wrap up this commentary. Like I said, I'm really enjoying Ghost so far. It really has that Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2 feeling to me. I feel like the skill gap is going to get a lot bigger in this game. With Black Ops 2, the maps were very small, the weapons were very strong. It was a lot easier for a poor player to get random kills. I think in this game, you're going to find that the really good players are really going to set themselves apart, and I think it's going to be really fun to watch in this game. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.